What's your it's expensive, but it's worth it product? A good backpack. One that doesn't rip or make your shoulders ache. I had to beg my wife to get the $25 towels. She was so mad when we left the store. She thanks me every day. Condoms. Shoes. I own a couple pairs of expensive shoes and they are worth every penny to not have aching feet at the end of the day. Music and earplugs. If you go to concerts or play a moderately loud instrument, you'll be doing that for years, if not decades. Save your ears, enjoy the music, and stop that god-awful ringing before it turns to tinnitus. Mattress. You're going to spend anywhere between 5 and 8 years on one you own for 20 years. High quality headphones. I recently bought a weighted blanket for my PTSD and severe anxiety. It greatly helps. Mechanical pencil. None of those cheap ass plastic ones. Get a Japanese or German one like Pentel or Staedtler. It will last forever and feels much better to write with, and no need to deal with the pain of sharpening it when it gets dull. To celebrate getting into law school, I bought myself a $150 Hansgrohe overhead range shower head. I'd spent so many years just dealing with crappy shower heads, but now wake up and get to feel pampered before facing the day. So worth it. What I've learned from this post is that almost everything is better when you pay more money. I guess one must find the right balance unless one is rich. Couch. Owned a $100 couch and it was horrible for me. Recently bought a $1,000 couch and it's a whole world of difference. Beds are similar. Running shoes. The good ones may be expensive, but not as expensive as knee surgery. Tires. I buy them like once every 2 or 3 years. And if you get the good ones at a place with a great warranty, you'll be able to replace them for free if anything happens to them before some threshold. Toilet paper. Get the good stuff. You'll wonder why you ever mistreated or, but with that half-ply see-through crap at most workplaces. Socks. I'm a contractor on his feet all day in a very hot country and switched to Don Tough socks after hearing about them on Reddit and can't imagine ever having a different brand of work socks. They breathe great and I don't have to worry about my size 14 feet tearing the heel out of one of them putting it on. Lifetime warranty on them as well. Kitchen knives. Tattoos. Low price usually equals low quality for life. Underwear. Good quality feels much better on my parts. My hearing aids. I was 24 when I first got them, and it was €4,000 for 2 hearing aids, one for each ear. I can't even imagine life without them anymore. I always knew my hearing wasn't that great, but it took the hearing aids to fully realize just how bad it was. I once saw a commercial for hearing aids, where the person was literally living in a bubble, separated from everyone around them. It's exactly like that. I got to test 3 different price ranges, and while the middle and top range were really close, the top class had that little bit of extra clarity, so I went with those. It took quite a bite out of my savings, but god damn it, it was worth it. I've had issues with my ears since I was in elementary school. Started with a lot of ear infections which resulted in cholesteatoma. When I was 13/0 I had my first eardrum transplant. Another when I was 19. The first transplant had melted away. The second eardrum healed but my ossicles, ear bones, are still damaged and the new eardrum too firm. In between the 2 transplants I had another surgery to fully get rid of the cholesteatoma. While my hearing is now stable, it will never be the same as someone with normal hearing. Since my body has a habit of building up excessive scar tissue I won't go for another surgery. So the next best thing was trying hearing aids. It took me 10 years to get them, because my doctor kept up hope that surgery would be the answer. It wasn't. I tested out 3 different price ranges, cheap, middle range and expensive. There was one more category extra expensive, but I didn't try those. I started out with the expensive ones. Took me a few weeks to get used to them. Then I tried out the cheap ones and immediately noticed a big difference in sound quality and how they filtered out background noise. Then I tried out the middle range. They were a lot better than the cheap ones and definitely worth your while. But, just to be sure I tried the expensive ones again and they were, ever so slightly, Better. The middle range filtered out the background noise just as well, but the ones I have now, their sound quality and mostly the clarity was better, so after thinking about it long and hard I went with those. My argument was, I had the money saved, and I'd be using them day in and day out for at least the next 5 years. It was worth it. I must add though my hearing loss is almost 50% on each ear, so getting a heavy hitter for hearing aids was necessary. If your hearing loss is less you might be just as good with a cheaper model. Finally, if you, or someone you know, think you have some hearing loss, get tested. It's free in most countries. Even trying out hearing aids, I cannot stress enough how much of a life changer it is. And if your grandma, or whoever claims it's too loud, they are not good, tell them to give it time. It took me weeks to get used to the extra volume and radio-like sound of the hearing aids. Everything sounds perfectly normal now, and taking them out feels like walking around with earplugs, even though that was what was normal before. Bedding. Sheets. Specifically, sleeping on a nice Egyptian cotton high thread count makes all the difference. Not so much a product, but a service. Once in a while I'll save up and do a 1-hour massage. Game changer. Sometimes just calling out of work can be expensive. But damn, if you're really struggling mentally, it's worth taking a day for yourself to get away from everything. Compression socks. If you're on your feet for large portions of the day they make a huge difference. Also great to have for when you take road trips or have to fly. Already posted this on the last thread with basically the same question. But a good bike from a bike shop. That $100 bike-shaped object from Walmart will feel like you're riding a bag of bricks after trying a good, lightweight hybrid or road bike. Food. Spend the extra bucks on good fresh food. Invest the time preparing it. Enjoy it and feel better about yourself. Good skincare products. It's done wonders for my adult acne. I used to just scrub my skin with bar soap and a washcloth. Thought that skincare stuff was unnecessary. I was wrong. Noise cancelling headphones. I work in an open plan office, and it just makes work so much bearable. By the end of this thread, I will be in deep debt. Spotify Premium. I'm poor. Oh, also high quality food for my pups. A haircut at a good barber. I used to always get the $7.99 Great Clips deal. But recently I decided to get more stylish cuts at a barber that will do them very well every time I go. Given that I'm single, I feel the need to invest in my appearance. Plus you get the neck shave with hot lather and straight razor, and you get a neck rub with that weird hand vibrator thing. A 144Hz monitor. The difference between 144Hz and 60Hz is night and day. LASIK/PRK/other laser eye surgery. Cost me a good bit, but it was worth every penny. I'll never forget the moment I realized I was seeing better than ever before, and I had no contacts and or glasses on. A dashcam. I don't see how or why anyone drives without one. I don't have the most expensive one like a Black Voo, but I feel so secure when I'm on the road. Bought dashcams for my whole family. A good mattress will change your life and last a long time. I always had very cheap computers growing up and could never play new titles. My PC was getting less than 30 FPS on Red Alert 2 in 2008. So when I had the money and bought a real PC with the GTX 1080, it changed my life. To some people it's not expensive, but a PS800 device that lets you play games on higher graphics is expensive to me. Lego. It's expensive, but goddamn are they indestructible. Tea. Now good old cheap black tea isn't bad for SE. I do love it. But once you've had some of that real good crap, $20 plus per ounce, you can taste the quality. The names sound pretentious af, Golden Monkey, but the taste can't be beat. Spend your high money on two things. 1. Anything that separates you from the ground. Shoes, mattresses, tires. 2. Anything that keeps you healthy. Skincare, therapy, healthy foods. Hulu without commercials. It might seem silly because those commercials are only for a couple minutes maximum, but I gladly pay $4 to not watch commercials for an entire month. Sunglasses. You do not realize how much you tolerate sunlight until you get a nice pair of polarized shades. Rice cooker, water kettle, water heater. I still have 1990s Zajarashi rice cooker. Only upgraded it cause it can't make porridge and brown rice properly. A nice Sonica electric toothbrush. It will change dramatically, increase your dental hygiene, and make you want to brush your teeth on a daily basis. You don't even need to buy the expensive $100+ ones. The $40 one is fantastic. I have a $1,200 office chair, worth every penny. Getting an impact driver to go along with your drill/driver. Impact drivers make removing screws so easy. I'm partial to DeWalt, but there are plenty of good ones out there. Good quality tools, everything from drills to spanners. Suits, not only do they fit better, but they last longer. Shampoo and conditioner. Good shampoo and conditioner can get relatively expensive, but it's such a godsend for me. Phones, tablets, and computers. I'm spending the majority of my waking hours using these things, so I take care to make sure they're fast and nice to use. This is a bit of a strange one, but what first came to mind is the LEGO Millennium Falcon, not the small $160 ones. I'm talking about the biggest LEGO set ever made, Millennium Falcon, the $800 in the US. 1. Very expensive. Check. Why is it worth it? It has 7541 pieces. It weighs something like 25 pounds. Not really a reason why it's worth it. Just wanted to add that in there. It comes with 10 minifigures, Han Solo, of course, Princess Leia, Chewbacca, C-3PO, older Han Solo, Rey, Finn, BB-8, and 2 Porgs, the small animals that Chewbacca likes to snack on, inside of the ship. It features the main hold, which includes the holochess table and a bunch of cool details from the scene where Luke trains with the lightsaber. The interior also includes a rear compartment that features the engine room with the hyperdrive, the hidden floor compartment Finn and Rey tried to hide in, 2 escape pod hatches, engineering console and an access ladder to the gunnery station, which leads us to another part of the interior, the gunnery station. This part includes a gun controller for the top 4 guns, and a seat for the gunner. Lastly, the cockpit, which includes the basic controls and stuff, but LEGO had to make a new piece for the cockpit so they could fit 4 people inside. Now onto the exterior. All I can say is, neat. It's extremely detailed and is made up of a bunch of panels that rest on the top and are connected to the main build underneath. Some of these panels come off to reveal the internal bits I mentioned earlier. Those are the pros, I guess. But what are the cons, you ask? I'll tell you what the cons are. It is physically unable to be swooshed because of the aforementioned 25-pound thing, and because of the panels having the tendency to break off as you fail to try and swoosh the model. It takes up a lot of room, about 2 feet by 3 feet by 8 inches of room. It takes forever to put together, even if you have built LEGO sets for a considerable amount of time and have had a lot of experience with complicated LEGO models like any of the Technic sets. From what I could find from looking at the reviews for the Millennium Falcon on LEGO's website, the build time could possibly take anywhere from 24 hours to 34 hours. I believe that the pros heavily outweigh the cons, because once you put this thing together, it is visually stunning. I guarantee once you build and display it, at least one of the people who visits your house will say, cool or whoa. Possibly both, but because of it being so large I suggest putting it on, or in a coffee table, or make it the centerpiece of your dinner table. If your dinner table is big enough to have room to eat after you plop it down in the center, of course. In conclusion, it is almost midnight and I'm writing way too many paragraphs about an $800 LEGO Millennium Falcon, and to add on to that, I'm commenting on an almost 4-hour old AskReddit post. So this comment will most likely get buried by posts about practical products. 10/10ths LEGO set. Would not buy again, because I don't have the money. Shoes, jackets/coats, and ladies, black milk tights have literally survived me falling over and skinning mine with no tear in the actual tights. I didn't realize I was bleeding until I put my hand on mine and it came away bloody. Shout out. Also, to good bras. but they are generally expensive. Honestly, quality clothing in general, if you can afford it, is amazing. Also, taking your pets to the vet. Bose QC35 noise cancelling headphone. Excellent for travel, air, auto, and train, productivity, and hands-free conference calls. $350, but they are worth every penny. If you cook, kitchenware can really be a game changer. I'd start with a knife set. Treat them well, keep them sharp. Don't put them in the dishwasher, you'll wonder how you prepped anything before. Second, I'd go for a high quality pan. Once again, you'll have to take care of your baby, but food will cook more evenly and stick to the pan less. A Lamy Safari fountain pen. It's around $30, which is pretty cheap in the fountain pen world. But boy, once you use it for a few days you swear you'd never go back to any other pens. Bed/sheets/comforters/pillows. Never underestimate how nice it is to slide into a cloud of comfort after a long day. You spend 6-9 hours in bed. Don't go cheap. Footwear. You wear them Get something comfortable and sturdy. Total game changer when you get a pair that's super comfortable. Headphones. Listening to music equals listening to music with a nice set of speakers. Every song is like a new song. The Tefal Actifree. Way better than the usual deep fryer. High-end soy sauce. Holy moly, it's like the difference between vinegar and wine. Butter. A freaking $20 can opener. Best thing I've bought. All those freaking dollar store ones bend and stop working, or they don't grip onto the can right. This one I bought works flawlessly every time, and you use zero effort to open it. Clothes. Buy the real thing. Better fabrics and high quality stitching means it lasts 4 years and hangs great on you. You look great and spend less in the long term. Yes, $5 tees are tempting, but they are essentially disposable. Furniture. Just like clothes. The money you put into it goes into the quality of the material and workmanship. When I got married, I had 2 nightstands, my wife's grandparents' Ethan Allen and an Nike one. Guess which one we still have? Folding knife. Paying decent money means getting good steel and a nice edge. Open boxes. Letters. Screw in loose screws. Stab the icky weird trash in your lawn. Saw your seatbelt off in an emergency. 6 months in, and you'll wonder how you went without one for so long. Also car maintenance, shoes, mattresses, fresh food, and everything else already mentioned. Air conditioning. A really nice computer. Mine is about $1,800 if I were to recreate it right now. But adjusting everything to what I bought everything at, it'd be $1,400, $1,500. A high quality guitar. Meat. The flavor difference from pre-packaged stuff vs buying a couple pounds from a butcher or deli is massive. My 1080T. For men, specifically, an expensive haircut from an actual salon. Bow rigs and fast cuts are great for buzz cuts, but an actual hairstylist can make you look great. Honey Crisp apples. Sure, they aren't your typical expensive $1,000 item. But Honey Crisp apples are usually 2 to 3 times more expensive than any other apple at the grocer. I buy these because I look forward to eating one every day. They are so damn delicious. Plus I'm getting a good helping of fruit each day. If I have to spend extra to look forward to eating an apple, it is well worth the money. Insulin because I'd die. Weed. Anything that separates me from the ground. Shoes. Tires. Mattress. My Roomba. I have multiple pets and it's so damn nice not have to sweep constantly. Amazon Prime. I actually save so much money on shipping and handling using this given that I buy a few items here and there. Mechanical keyboards. Quality pet food. $50 a month for some quality food means a quality life for your best buds. Purina is not quality pet food and can be really bad for them in some cases. Silk pillowcases. I bought 25 Mom Mulberry silk zippered pillowcases from Celestial Silk. Since sleeping on them, I've noticed my hair is less frizzy. I never get those pillow creases on my face, and my skin doesn't feel as pulled around. I took a chance because they are supposed to be better for your skin and hair, and it is worth it. My desktop PC. Good for gaming and homework. Diva Curl. Before I started using it, my hair was a frizzy mess. Mechanical keyboard. Even a cheap one off Amazon will make you regret not ditching the membrane keyboard sooner. Small pets. As far as dogs and cats go, cheaper is fine. Shelters and rescues are a fraction of the price of breeders. But when it comes to mice, hamsters, birds, rats, etc., you're much better off going to an experienced breeder. I had 3 pet rats, 2 from a breeder and 1 from PetSmart. The 2 from the breeder were much friendlier and healthier, while the 1 from PetSmart had an immune system disorder and would poop when I held him for more than a minute. Just cough up the extra $10 for a better quality pet. My computer. Use it for at least a couple of hours a day and hasn't failed me yet. Doc Martens. You can buy cheaper leather boots, but Docs are so well made. I've had one pair for 5 years now, and they've gotten a lot of use. I would say for guys' underwear. Buying high quality underwear has changed my life. I feel like I'm not even wearing any, and no more sweat down there. I would suggest something like Tommy John. Steak. I'm in college, so I shouldn't afford steak, but I live pretty frugally, so I splurge on some steak every once in a while. UO quality art supplies. Once you get good, it is so worth it to buy the nice stuff like pastels and gouache paints with lots of pigment and without filler. They are easier to use and also last longer. Good light fastness. The colors don't fade. It can life-changing to go from waxy ass colored pencils to smooth butter blending miracle sticks. For students, I recommend buying the inexpensive starter materials like Reeve/Craft Store brands and investing in what media you discover you love. For the high quality stuff, if you want to talk specifics, I'm talking Senilia pastels, Schmink watercolors, and Carpic markers. Those work like dreams. Make, and don't settle my art hose. For me, it's expensive jeans. I always find the difference in comfort and fit to be enormous, and it's something you essentially wear every day. I purchased a bottle of Lagavulin 16-year aged scotch last week and opened it today in honor of my fellow Marines that didn't make it home. I'm a man of no nonsense and like to get straight to the point, so I usually buy cheap drink with a high ABV to get the job done and don't dabble in the finer things that life has to offer quite often. Do yourself a favor and indulge in a bottle of Lagavulin at least once in your life. It's worth every penny. 444 from Wendy's and a small chocolate frosty. A decent password manager. I used 1Password and its integration with all my devices is 100% worth the $4 a month. Russian bride. Went through a number of cheap ones and had to discard them. Finally paid 4 figures and Olga has been mostly wonderful. Skincare products and makeup. Some makeup I buy cheap because of how quickly I go through it, but I will never buy drugstore eyeshadow again. Kitchen knives, cheap ones just break and make onions an absolute nightmare to cut, creating unnecessary Hulk out moments in the kitchen. But a good set of kitchen knives is a dream.